I'm going to say something that a lot of black people are too scared to say out loud. Arabs are not innocent, Islam is not morally neutral, and black people need to stop pretending otherwise just because the propaganda is loud and the optics are convenient. I'm black. I'm not speaking from outside. I'm speaking from inside the house, watching my own people rearrange the furniture to accommodate guests who have never respected us. This isn't about geopolitics anymore. This is about honesty. Let's start with Arabs as people, not an abstraction, not a fantasy, not a slogan. Actual human societies. Arab societies have been anti-black for centuries. Not accidentally, not incidentally, structurally. Black Africans were enslaved, castrated, renamed, and erased across Arab lands long before Europeans industrialized slavery. And unlike the Atlantic trade, that system never properly ended. It just went quiet, it went domestic, it went invisible. And yet somehow black people are expected to treat Arabs as automatic comrades in struggle. Why? Because they shout colonialism louder? Because they mastered the language of victimhood while practicing supremacy at home? Because they wrapped power in prayer and told us criticism equals racism? Miss me with that? Now let's talk about Islam. Not Muslims as individuals. Islam as a belief system, a moral code, a civilizational project. Islam is not just a personal faith. It is a political theology. It always has been. It divides the world into believers and non-believers. It ranks people by proximity to submission. It codifies hierarchy, gender hierarchy, religious hierarchy, legal hierarchy. And black people keep pretending this doesn't matter because we're so desperate for allies that we'll kneel anywhere that lets us chant. Islam did not liberate black people. Islam absorbed black people. It didn't erase anti-Blackness. It religiously justified it. Here's where people get uncomfortable. Arab supremacy and Islamic supremacy overlap. They reinforce each other. Arab culture racialized blackness. Islam sanctified obedience. Together they created a system where black people could be enslaved, ruled and erased, while still being told they were spiritually equal. That's not liberation, that's psychological containment. And if you think this is ancient history, you are either lying or willfully blind. Go look at how black Africans are treated in North Africa and the Gulf today. Go look at the language, go look at the labor systems, go look at who cleans, who serves, who is disposable. Then come back and tell me this is just Western propaganda. Now let's talk about the part that really exposes the scam. Jew hatred. Black people did not organically arrive at antisemitism through lived experience. We were taught it. We learned it through Arab media, through Islamic framing, through imported narratives that flatten Jews into demons and erase Jewish diversity entirely. Jews are portrayed as cosmic villains, eternal manipulators, inherently illegitimate, not just wrong, but evil. That is not accidental, that is theological, that is cultural, that is taught, and black people repeat it like it's revolutionary scripture. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Arab societies do not extend the same nuance to Jews that black activists demand for Arabs. Islam does not offer Jews the same moral grace it demands for itself. And yet black people are expected to silence critique in the name of harmony. That is submission politics. You're not being radical. You're being disciplined. Let me say this plainly. If a culture is deeply anti-black, I don't owe it emotional protection. If a religion encodes hierarchy, I don't owe it reverence. If a movement demands that I hate Jews to prove my moral purity, I reject it entirely, and no amount of chanting will change that. What disappoints me most is not Arabs. They are doing exactly what powerful groups do. They protect their narrative. What disappoints me is black people surrendering their intellectual autonomy, borrowing anger, borrowing enemies, borrowing conflicts that will never center black liberation. We are fighting wars where we are not equals for causes that do not love us, using ideologies that have already proven they will throw us away. That's not solidarity. That's self-abandonment. I am not interested in being liked. I am interested in being honest. Arabs are human beings capable of cruelty and supremacy. Islam is a faith system capable of domination and harm, and black people are capable of being wrong, manipulated, and intellectually lazy. If that statement shakes you, good, because liberation that can't survive scrutiny is just another cage with better slogans. I'm not here to chant, I'm not here to kneel, and I'm definitely not here to hate Jews on command. Think harder, or keep being used, your choice. Now let's talk about the point where this becomes truly toxic. Jew hatred. Anti-Semitism in black spaces did not emerge organically from black experience, it was imported. Most black people did not grow up harmed by Jews. Most black people did not grow up oppressed by Jews. Most black people did not grow up studying Jewish history at all. So where did the obsession come from? Arab media, Islamic framing, geopolitical narratives that collapse Jewish existence into illegitimacy. Jews are not treated as a people with history, trauma, and diversity. They are treated as a problem to be solved. That framing is not accidental. It is cultural and theological. In many Arab and Islamic narratives, Jews are eternal antagonists, not political rivals, moral enemies. That bleeds into black activism through slogans, imagery, chants, and social pressure. And suddenly, black people who would never tolerate racial generalization about themselves are casually repeating myths about Jewish control, Jewish evil, Jewish deception. That contradiction doesn't bother them because the hatred has been sanctified. Once hatred is framed as resistance, it becomes righteous. Once it becomes righteous, it becomes untouchable. Here's the double standard that exposes everything. Arab societies demand nuance for themselves. Islam demands protection from critique, but Jews are denied both. Arab anti-Blackness is treated as irrelevant. Islamic supremacy is treated as misunderstood. Jewish existence is treated as suspect. And black people are expected to play along or be accused of betrayal. That is not coalition politics. That is ideological discipline. What makes this especially embarrassing is how little black people gain from this alignment. No power, no protection, no reciprocity, just moral labour. We show up, we chant, we post, we burn bridges with other communities. And when black people are dying in Sudan, Libya, Yemen, or Mauritania, the same voices go quiet, because black suffering is only valuable when it supports someone else's narrative. Here's the part that hurts to admit. Some black people have replaced critical thought with moral theatre. They don't want to understand. They want to perform righteousness. They don't want complexity. They want enemies. They don't want liberation. They want to feel good about who they hate. An Arab nationalist propaganda, combined with Islamic absolutism, offers them a ready-made script. No thinking required, just loyalty. I am disappointed because we should know better. We know what empire looks like. We know what propaganda sounds like. We know what borrowed hatred does. And yet here we are, repeating patterns we claim to hate, defending hierarchies that would never defend us, and calling it justice. I'm done with that. I'm done clapping on cue. I'm done pretending this is radical. I'm done watching black intelligence get traded for ideological belonging. Think or keep being used. Those are the only two options left. Not right, not left, just real.